So content just drives building relationship with a targeted set of personas or ideal customer profiles. And then you build a community, which is very, very powerful today. And that community doesn't have to be big, right? But it's your community. They trust you and they like you. So you build that community through content. And once community is there and there is a built-in structured relationship building, and there is a loyalty level that is being, and a relationship that is being built between you and your users, then they are more open to accept proposals from you as a brand. And then when commerce comes in. So content builds communities drive sales, right, in commerce.
Welcome to the Ecommerce Marketing Podcast, the highly rated digital marketing podcast that provides weekly digital marketing tips and strategies from some of the world's top digital marketers and e-commerce entrepreneurs that will help you take your digital marketing to the next level. Sit back and enjoy this power-packed episode hosted by Arlen Robinson, who is an e-commerce entrepreneur and digital marketing expert with over 20 years of experience. Hey, Ecommerce Marketing Podcast listener. Are you looking to increase traffic and sales to your website? You can do this by launching your own affiliate program. Just visit getosi.com and sign up for a free trial today. That's getosi.com. Now get ready to hear from your e-commerce marketing expert of the week as they drill down to give you details on marketing strategies that can help grow your business.
Welcome back to the E-commerce Marketing Podcast, everyone. My name is Arlen. I'm your host. Today, we've got a very special guest, Eitan Koter, who is the co-founder and co-CEO of Vimmi, which is a leading video conference SaaS company providing multi-channel shoppable video and live shopping solutions to brands and retailers. With 2 decades of experience in startups and public companies, including a NASDAQ IPO, Eitan is a thought leader in video commerce, digital marketing, social commerce, and startup bootstrapping. He frequently speaks about futuristic, immersive digital experiences and the convergence of media and commerce. Welcome to the podcast, Eitan.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here, Arlen. How are you?
I am doing awesome, and thank you for joining me. And I'm really excited to talk to you. From reading your intro, it sounds like you've really been on the pulse of a lot of late breaking and I guess you could say leading edge or bleeding edge. I don't know how you say it, technologies for several decades now, which is some good stuff. Today we are going to be talking about what you're involved in day to day with your app, shoppable videos, live shopping, and video commerce, which is really, I think I would consider it, I guess you could say, almost the next iteration of e-commerce. I probably would like to call it, maybe it'd be like 3.0, e-commerce 3.0. Maybe right now we're kind of at 2.0. We're kind of in between 2.0, 3.0. And this is, of course, allowing people to purchase directly from within videos. Also, this is popular across the social networks, having almost a seamless integration where people aren't going elsewhere. So I'm going to be diving deep into that. But, before we do get into that, I'm really interested in your journey and how you went from working with those startups, the NASDAQ IPO, to now recently, of course, have co-founding Vimmi. How did that journey go? And what are some of the highlights?
Celebrated 11 years as the company, so we're not young, right? So Vimmi is an established company already. Gotcha. But obviously 11 years ago, there was no video commerce, right? It's new. So back then,
for sure.
My background is in professional video. That's media and entertainment type of video. Those Netflix-like projects and initiatives. This is where we started as a company. And we work with a variety of media houses, content providers, mobile operators who just wanted to launch direct-to-consumer video services, these online video platforms that are able, users to just subscribe to a monthly package and just get content, right? Live or linear channels or a library of VOD catalog. But then about 5 years ago, I saw, China just doing crazy things with live shopping. People are just selling millions of dollars in one event. And that volume of business is overwhelming, definitely much bigger than even countries in Europe. The entire GMV is maybe related to like few live streamers in China, right? So it's really impressive. And there was kind of a transition of this use case or technology or experience to the Western world, and we have identified this and actually launch a business unit in Vimmi just to cater this specific video commerce opportunity. Now I'm into video for more than 2 decades. I started in the first company that was also founded this company around the year 2000, right? And it's like this Hotel California song by the Eagles. There is a line there that says,
"Yes,
you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave." Right? So that's really what I feel the same for me as spending so much time in video and see it evolving from transitioning from analog video to digital video on satellite and cable networks to the introduction of internet and IP networks for streaming. And this evolution was really amazing to see and experience. And today, with e-commerce, video is introducing something new.
Can you hear me? Are you there?
Definitely on the brand's retailer's website. But also what drives everything in the video creation specifically is social commerce. And social commerce is a very powerful way of just
hello. Can you hear me?
Position your products through videos in front of customers and potential shoppers while they spend their time on social media networks. So yeah, that's this is some of the background, and we usually try to innovate on the technology side in terms of scalability of the platform, the functionalities, but this is our ongoing journey, in this industry.
Yeah. First off, I like that analogy with the Eagles song, Hotel California. You can check out anytime, but you can't leave.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really, I think, like you said, where e-commerce brands are now. That's kind of where they want people to be. They want them kind of always within their whole ecosystem. And then what you're doing in this whole video commerce, I think, is enabling people to do that. So they're always there anyway, because people are these days so immersed in a lot of these videos and the ads and everything. Why not take advantage of that? So that's pretty interesting. Now, kind of thinking about your background, when I just described that you went from some startups that had IPOs on NASDAQ, and then of course you said 11 years ago founding Vimmi. It's kind of your background has a unique, you've had some unique experiences which allowed you to be able to quickly scale a startup company. The agility to be able to do a lot of creative things with startups is really, powerful, because you can do a lot of things that you can't at the corporate level. But at the corporate level, you've also been able to scale the company. So with those two mix of backgrounds, how does that really shape the way you lead the company?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, in the early stages of a startup, you have a different mentality, right? It's like a knife, between your teeth. And I always had this narrow innovation kind of strategy, just to try to introduce something which is very, very small in terms of functionality to a very, very small set of customers, but show real innovation, real differentiation. Real differentiation or innovation, by the way, doesn't have to be something new that no one ever invented. It can be some substantial improvement in terms of performance, cost, something on the operational side. And once you try to just zero in and penetrate this very, very small user base, and you iterate very, very fast, and you keep an agile mindset and development processes in terms of product management and execution, you're able to quickly, I mean, like on a daily basis, iterate and show advancement in the product, and makes customer happy. And there is then this word of mouth or network effect. It just people recommend, to their friends and to their communities, and make their life, easy in some kind of a way that we make a difference. So this is something that I try to maintain. Also, when I ran a public company with hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, obviously you have so many things on your plate, both external and internal. But it's
sure.
the challenges are different. It's more operational. Obviously, these companies are more in the growth, even beyond growth, right? On the mature phase, you need to continue to scale the company, but you need to do it in a more operational efficiency, right? You look at your cost structure, you look at operational items, and you try to figure out how you can do the same in much higher profitability. So you look inwards, try to streamline processes, and always try to figure out how you can expand the existing technology to new markets. So like at the beginning, you start with a very, very narrow set of market definition with a different, very defined product. But as you grow, you try to land and expand, introduce more functionality to the same market. But at a certain level, you need to just focus on this business development and try to figure out that technology where it can fit, in terms of other market segments that also require that specific or even slightly customized set of functionalities from your product. Like we did, for example, when we had this online video platform, we work with media and entertainment companies, but we had all these building blocks that fits video commerce because we were busy, doing live events for millions of users. We knew how to manage videos on a massive scale. We had all the technology in terms of video players, chat systems, applications. So we just took the existing technology and just adapted it to a new market. And this is one of the evolutions, of any company out there.
Yeah, I can see that, how you could adapt that. You had the technology, you had the know-how with these live events, and then just kind of retooling things for the current market as with regards to e-commerce. It's it's really good stuff. Now, speaking of the current market, of course, we're talking now about the shoppable videos, which is really the hot trend now. And so for those that are not familiar with it, can you break it down as far as how does it work? And, are there any standout brands these days that you can kind of point to that are doing a great job with it?
Yes, I mean, we need to differentiate between live and video and like pre-recorded videos, right? All those short forms that we see on TikTok, Instagram, Reels, YouTube Shorts, but also the long forms, those horizontal 6:9 videos that goes to YouTube are pre-recorded, pre-edited, and I think we need to differentiate the discussion between those two. So video is used by 90% of businesses, right? And they use video probably through influencer marketing or through funnel-led content or using content creators. But the idea is for them is just to increase brand awareness, get more impressions, and just sharing, what they do. And there is a new type of video that is just in its infancy, in its early stage, is the ability to create conversion through videos by adding a call to action to the video player itself. That call to action redirects to a checkout page. Okay, so think about a scenario where you watch a video. It could be a short form video or even live event, and the video player is very interactive. There is a chat, you can send messages, and you have a call to action that says buy now. That experience can be integrated and embedded into the brand's and retailers' own website, like on the main page or on product pages. But also today can be introduced, for example, with the Vimmi platform across multiple social channels and marketplaces, for example, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, even Pinterest and Amazon and Walmart. They are supporting these additional layers of interactivity, of redirecting to checkout in various ways. So each one of those platforms are providing APIs to create a variety of checkout opportunities or redirect opportunities, and each one of them has their own sets of APIs and rules, and we've implemented all of them into the Vimmi platform just to make to streamline everything and to make life easy for our customers, just in one dashboard, just to manage all these aspects of the business that is called social commerce. Okay, so that's the way just to help customers just use video. Of course, video is a very important marketing vehicle these days, the fuel for social commerce. Sure. And, we know it's so expensive to acquire a new customer to your own amazing brand.com website. So why not just deploying videos and checkout opportunities and conversion opportunities where users are spending their time, right, on social media? And we know we all spend hours over there, and we started this endless scrolling, right? And we need to make sure to have this ability to make a purchase. And we know e-commerce is built on on impulse purchase, right? So there's the video makes it much more powerful, because video is you get it's has all these additional emotional layers that you're connected to the host or to the presenter, and there is a lot of psychological psychology is involved in decision making through video, and it's other type of entertainment. But also you have shoppable videos today on even big screen on CTVs, right? You have advertising on Netflix and then Amazon Prime and Disney. So we see those videos are becoming more interactive, more shoppable across every screen size. And what drives everything is what I see, there is a kind of a new economy, digital economy that is evolving, which is evolved around the 3 C's, right? So content, community, and commerce. So content just drives building relationship with a targeted set of personas or ideal customer profiles, and then you build a community, which is very, very powerful today. And that community doesn't have to be big, right? But it's your community. They trust you and they like you. So you build that community through content. And once community is there and there is a built-in structured relationship building, and there is a loyalty level that is being, and a relationship that is being built between you and your users, then they are more open to accept proposals from you as a brand. And then when commerce comes in. So content builds communities drive sales, right, in commerce.
Hey, before we jump into the next question, I want to take a quick second to talk about something that's been a game changer for so many business owners, including myself. That's public speaking. If you're running an e-commerce brand, marketing agency, or any business, your ability to communicate clearly and confidently can really make all the difference. Whether you're pitching to investors, speaking at conferences, or even just creating content that connects with your audience. That's exactly why I created speaktoempower.com, a coaching program designed to help you master public speaking without fear. You can start with my free 10-day course where I walk through essential strategies to overcome nervousness, engage in the audience, and speak with confidence. And if you want to go even deeper, I offer weekly virtual group coaching sessions and one-on-one coaching tailored to your needs. So if you've ever felt like you could be more confident on camera, on stage, or even in day-to-day business conversations, head over to speaktoempower.com and get started for free today. All right, now back to the episode.
Now, one of the things I'm curious about, you mentioned that typically platforms like yours and other platforms is something that gets introduced, I guess you could say, kind of post-production for these different videos. So it's something that I guess you could say kind of sits on top of it. It has nothing to do with the actual production of it. Is it, what I'm curious about, because these days we're talking about influencers try to be as interactive as possible with their audience. And a lot of times if they're, maybe they're referencing a particular product or using something on screen or on camera, they may want to specifically give that viewer, some instructions about, okay, what to do, where to go on the screen. Mm-hmm. Do you see that happening? Is that something that's possible where this is integrated post-production, I guess you could say, or during the actual filming?
So many functionalities. Obviously, there is one scenario where, that buy button will always be there in the same place just to make people more convenient. There is other way that, for example, you see moving vehicle or just something is moving and you can just move that call to action just throughout the screens in various areas where you want this to happen. So all of this can be configured on the platform in advance. Obviously, when it's a live show, it's, I think, less relevant because live show is usually a host showcasing a product, whether it's unboxing, just providing more information about the product. So it's a much more of a kind of an intimate, type of experience. And those buttons are always there, and there is a place for the chat, right? People can ask questions. There is a place for the where you want to place this call to action. Now, what's important also, referring to the question to understand, is that specifically for short form videos, like 2 years ago, when I create a lot of videos, I used to spend like 20 minutes of the time researching for content ideas, 20% of the time just filming, and then 60% spending time on post-production, editing, making everything polished, looks amazing, because this was the expectation. Now today, it just no one cares. It just completely flipped, right? You spend 20% on post-production. You have all these AI tools that in a few clicks can do everything for you. You spend the same 20% on filming, but you need to spend 60% on researching. And what I found is that some of my best videos, what's important there is not, the background or the lightning or the overlays and the emojis. No one cares, right? It's the value of the content that you provide in the right timing, that it's a hot topic at that specific period, right? And you just deliver the pain points and the resolution and your personal stories, and in a structured way through short-form videos, which is less than 30 seconds, right? And they can create huge impact, right? And we see like conversion. People are selling like, 5 figures item through 30 seconds short-form videos, right? It's happening.
Yes, exactly.
It's happening in today on TikTok and other platforms. Just any niche, right? Any category. I mean, and any price item. So these things are working, and there is a reason why they are working, because those algorithms are pushing those videos, because it makes people, spend more time on their platforms. And this is an organic. It's all organic, right? There is no PPC here, no paid media. It's all organic. But it requires a lot of experimentation, right? It requires few months of experimentation, posting few times a week, just to get used to it and improve specifically the quality and the value of the content that you deliver. And there is a methodology how to do that.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, of course, there's a methodology, there's a process, there's testing. So there's a lot of things that you have to do. It's not like you can just immediately do this and then see a result. For those that are new to this and are maybe interested in kind of going this route with their platform, with their e-commerce platforms and their products, I wanted to know if you could share a specific example of a brand that you've dealt with or that you're familiar with that's seen a significant return of investment.
Yeah. Well, so we work with hundreds of brands, and without just, mentioning specific brands here, because, I don't want to insult others, or maybe it's a confidentiality issue. The idea is that it started like a few years ago with those products that, and again, I'm talking specifically about short form videos, about those products that are, less than $100 probably, like 2-figure dollar value, that you can immediately, like in 30 seconds, show a real transformation, like before and after. So it usually started from like cosmetics products, fashion, right, apparel. But this has changed completely. We have companies that are just furniture manufacturers that are selling on TikTok and on Instagram and on YouTube, and it's really amazing through these short forms how these things are evolving. So we usually recommend to start by creating a list, let's say, of like 50 customer pains, right? And just focus that most of your videos provide value. Have this 80-20 ratio of just providing value, respond to customer pains, market trends, and share your personal experience. People care more about personal stories and how you overcome challenges and adversity, rather than just educate them on just theories and something you heard today, or yesterday. So the idea is to share personal story. This is very, very powerful. So if you can use the hook as a question of a customer pain, and then tell a personal story about it and how you overcome it, and a nice call to action at the end. These are very, very powerful. And anyone can do that, right? Even without any experience.
That's true.
Anyone can do that. And so like for live, and just referring to a question, if live events are preparing in the correct way in terms of marketing, pre-event, during event, and post-event, with the right email marketing and the right social posting about this event. Again, pre, during, and after the event. Then we saw like conversion rates like 10x than the traditional 2-3%, right? We saw 20%, 30% conversion rates on these events because these are high intent customers that decided to join the event because there was some kind of a promise, whether it's a discount, a coupon, a loyalty program, an interesting host or a guest. People just join the event, and if they couldn't join the event, we record all the events, and they're available as a recorded videos. And as long as the inventory is there, people can still make a purchase, right? And can see all the chat, see all the response that they get, and they can make a purchase. So some of these events get 50% of their sale post the event itself, just from the recorded videos, right?
Wow.
So yeah, these are very, very powerful, and in a way that, and this is a great place to start. Usually with short form videos, be committed for at least 3 months, and live event, maybe start with a live show, right? Now, in terms of just giving more tips about what to create content, it really depends on where you are in the marketing funnel, right? So if the company is just in, let's say, awareness stage, right? So during the awareness stage, no one knows you, right? So you need to provide educational content, marketing information, checklists, trends, just provide value to people so people can know you better and just build some kind of a rapport or relationship with you. And when when you're in consideration, people are just evaluating options, don't be afraid as a brand to discuss and show and even share a link of your competition, because you're just saving so much time for your listeners and for your viewers. Anyhow, they know with whom you are competing. They will go there and spend time. Do. So why not do a professional analysis about this competitor XYZ? Just provide your unique value propositions and compare to the others. Don't be afraid to do that. Remember that all these versus blogs were usually generated by the affiliates, and hey, this is your business, right?
Exactly.
Now it comes from the brands themselves, and Google love it, right? As a blog post, and definitely the video social channels love it as well, right? So provide competition information. Don't be afraid. How to case studies on the consideration stage, and when your shoppers are like decision mode. Provide product reviews like prices, testimonials, unique selling point. This is where you push more your product. And if you follow this process for at least 3 months, it's not a question of if you're going to succeed. It's almost guaranteed that you're going to succeed as long as you are consistent and be very, very authentic to your true self. And I know authenticity is a word that is overly used lately, right? But this is the way just for you to differentiate. And I love this content, founder-led content, or EGC, not UGC, that employee-generated content. These are the real people behind the product. And if you can showcase employees, or you can showcase whatever is happening internally in the company, and also tell your true story, it's not easy, right? I understand that you need to dive deep to figure out why. But this is very, very powerful, and it's all organic, right? And you create a community, and you have a loyal fans and followers that are much more open to accept a proposal.
I've seen that as well. I see that with a lot of e-commerce brands and new brands. I see this for myself. That type of content, like you said, the EGC, the employee generated content, where you're seeing the behind the scenes of whether a particular employee is doing his particular part of the job, or he's even using the product himself and pitching it. It's always interesting. Historically, we've already seen that I guess you could say these behind the scenes videos, how did they make these types of videos have really been powerful, because everybody wants to know that backstory and what was involved in where the product got to, as it is today. So I can definitely see that being really powerful. Now, as we get ready to wrap things up, I was going to say we're already at, like I said, e-commerce probably 3.0 at this point. But of course, things are being accelerated really quickly with technology. So we've got technologies like AR, augmented reality. We have VR, the virtual reality and AI now, all of this stuff is kind of merging and propelling things forward really, really quickly. Because, we're starting to have the interactive headsets. Those things are starting to get smaller now. How is all of that going to affect video commerce? Is there any emerging trends that you've seen that you're pretty excited about?
Of course. I mean, this is like all this immersive commerce is very exciting. Just we are moving from point of sales to point of experiences, right? And by the way, like AR and VR, you don't have to have this expensive, glasses, right? You can just go to a website. There is kind of an immersive experience. And by the way, that immersive experience is working very, very, very well with like social friends, right? That are invited to the same experience. So we see like various use cases in fashions. People are over there just implementing VR in a much more efficient way, just guiding you to various workplaces where you can just experience. All the virtual try-ons, right, are very, very powerful, like AR version of it.
I see those.
But it's there. It's in the industry. I think that's for maybe not the sales or marketing aspect of things, but more on the training side of things. Yes, VR and AR is very, very powerful. Point of experience is, for example, can be an offline point of experience, which is completely digital, right? And we see this pop-up booths that are just giving you the opportunity to experience product in various ways, right, in various angles. And so this is also very, very powerful. So omni-channel, I think, is very critical for immersive commerce. And I mean, this is just we're trying to find new ways to make this boring 2D product page into something which is more immersive, more interesting. Definitely some niches, right? It's like the virtual trend, like fashion, I think is very, very powerful and it improves conversions. But it's getting there to more and more of an industries. And this is very, very powerful. I definitely see growth in this. But it's not 100% related, to this physical device that we need to put on our heads, which I think most people are probably not comfortable.
Yeah, I tend to agree. It's kind of for that to be adopted more more mainstream. I think it has to be simplified a bit. That type of technology it can't be that bulky.
It's bulky, and I think the growth we are in stagnation mode. I mean, it's not growing anymore. Like across the devices, right? With Apple, Microsoft, and obviously Facebook. I mean, it's
it's going to be interesting when we get to the point where that type of immersive technology is possible without without a screen, without anything that you're looking at by something that's, almost like that holographic type technology. I think that's where we're going. It's going to get there probably sooner than we think. But I think when we get to that, that's really going to change the game, where you're fully immersed without being restricted to a screen or to goggles and those type of things. So we'll see what happens. There's going to be some exciting times ahead of us for sure. So I'm definitely going to stay on the pulse of it. Well, Eitan, this has been an awesome conversation. Thank you for coming and joining us today. I've learned a ton, and our listeners and viewers have as well. Before we let you go, I always like to switch gears just so our audience can get to know you a little bit better. If you don't mind sharing one closing fun fact about yourself that you think our listeners and viewers would be interested to know.
Okay, so I have a few. So I'm also like a certified Qigong teacher, which is a type of moving meditation, part of Chinese medicine. So this is another practice. So it's a holistic medical practice that helps balance, mind, body, and emotion. I also like do mountain biking like 3-4 times a week. Right, try to ride at least 67 kilometers, like in a all mountain terrain. And I love to spend time. I have 5 kids, right? Spending time with the family and try to balance everything. That's my real startup, by the way.
I can imagine. That's a lot to manage.
I mean, I learned, as the 5 kids. I learned over the years just to focus on just prioritizing in a more efficient way, just quality versus quantity. This is something you learn, I guess, over the years. And it's amazing how you can increase throughput and efficiency of your work while still have plenty of time or enough time to do other things and just maintain good mental health and balance in life.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very well said. And thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I'm curious that moving meditation that you mentioned, the Qigong, it sounds a little bit like Tai Chi.
Yeah, Tai Chi is part of Qigong. You know, Chinese medicine has like very few major verticals, right? Like acupuncture, like reflexology, and, you know, herbs, through healing herbs, and Qigong is another category. Inside Qigong, you have like martial arts, Tai Chi, right? It's kind of a preventive practice, right? In all the it's 5,000 years old, and it's a way just to clear all the blockages in your mindset, your emotion, and your physical body. Let the energy flows in a good way, just to keep your body in a very good and relaxed position, right? When we stress, we contract our body and we start ruminating.
For sure.
And Qigong just clears everything. It does a lot of mental work, and through variety of movements that are just extending, you know, the meridians and the energy paths in our body, we can influence. Those meditation, or those moving meditation, those movements and flows influence our emotions and can influence our mental states, because they're all connected, right? And it's very, very powerful for, us as professionals, very powerful for just managing burnout, right? Stress, increased resiliency, clarity of mind, and just making sure everything is in a balanced state. That's I think one of the benefits of these practices.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really interesting. I'm definitely going to look into it. Yeah, I've learned a lot about some of the, you know, of course, the Chinese traditions and the medicines, and I'm a big herbal tea guy. So for any type of, for medicinal purposes, I've got a whole cabinet full of different things that I've tried over the years. So I always I think there's definitely a lot more to it than people think. So that's something I'll definitely look into. So yes, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. But lastly, before we do let you go, Eitan, if you don't mind sharing the best way for our listeners and viewers to reach you, if they want to pick your brain any more about social commerce, video commerce, and things that you're doing internally.
I'm quite active on LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn account. It's Eitan Koter, EITAN KOTER, and definitely reach out to Vimmi through our website, vimmi.net, which is VIMMI.net. There is a free for life package there that can help you start experiencing shoppable video, live shopping. And obviously, if you need more capacity, just grow, you know, with the various packages. So there are some of the two best places to reach out to us.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll definitely be sure to have the links in the show notes as well as on our website, so people can connect with you from there. Okay, Eitan, it's been awesome talking to you. We really appreciate having you on the E-commerce Marketing Podcast.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you for listening to the E-commerce Marketing Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and share it with everyone you know. Are you looking to take your digital marketing to the next level, but are tired of weeding through countless YouTube videos with unproven and untrusted marketing strategies? Well, we have the answer for you. The More Sales Every Month online digital marketing course. In this information-packed course, you will learn effective keyword research, link building, content marketing, and much more to attract and convert your site visitors into paying customers. Just go to moresaleseverymonth.com and sign up today for a low one-time fee. In addition to this power-packed course, if you would like to get access to a growing repository of digital marketing articles, PDFs, and ebooks, check out getosi.com/resources and opt in to get full access to our library of priceless marketing information to help you take your digital marketing to the next level.